Hi, welcome to my channel. We are going to talk today about intuition and how to follow your intuition and to know what is your intuition or what is your mind, because a lot of the time it can become very confusing. I've known for myself along this journey, along this spiritual path, I've tried to always listen, I've tried to always know what's the right answer, what's the right direction. And we can get caught up in trying to be, over controlling and wanting to always take control of every step of the way because, I need to be in alignment. I need to be following my intuition. I need to be on my purpose. But generally, it's not always the case. We shouldn't have this stress. We shouldn't have this need to always control. From my experience, I've noticed even if you have made a bad decision, even if you've done something wrong per se, it always led to a right decision, always led to you going down the right path. It always led to learning. It always led to surrendering and going more deeply into your spirit. Because sometimes when we can make bad decisions or we make the wrong decision, it always ends up being the right decision because it always pushes us to surrender, to learn. And maybe it might take you 100 times to finally get that you shouldn't be eating this thing, or that you shouldn't be going down this path, or something you shouldn't be doing. Or we get backed with feeling the emotion behind that. We get backed by getting pain or by getting discomfort. And then we're kind of, okay, this is probably what I shouldn't be doing. But in knowing as well, in knowing that our mind will protect us, our mind will actually block us from stepping into success, from stepping into the future, or by stepping into something more greater. So our minds will hold us back. So we have to know that we have to push towards a resistance. We have to be in this flowing state and knowing that, okay, if there's resistance, I should probably lean towards that. I should probably go towards that because it's probably going to make me a better person. But generally, from what I've experienced, if there is fear behind it, and if there is a little bit of excitement, and you actually wanting to do it, there's excitement behind doing it, then you should probably lean into it. You should probably head towards that. And it's just that your mind is trying to block you. And generally, if you listen to your heart, by tapping into your heart and connecting with your intuition, you can start to get answers. And from my experience and from what a lot of people I've seen in this community and who are doing this work, they get short answers. The intuition likes to speak silently, and it doesn't like to overanalyze. It doesn't like to go into stories as to why it's answering that in a certain way. It just has a short little one-off answer, and that's all it gives. So generally you have to trust that. You have to listen to that. It's short, it's precise, it's very to the point. It doesn't go into why it's saying that. It just says, yes, this is, or that. You're like, oh, okay. And when you know that you're in the mind, you know that your mind will overanalyze. The mind will create stories, create all these images, and try and analyze. Oh yeah, we're going to do this right, because that's the protective part of you. That's your primal part. But your spirit, your intuition will just have one short answer and say, this is what you need to do. And that's it. It's quiet. It's peaceful. So sometimes to connect to this, it can be difficult. Even in meditation, because the mind can get in the way. The mind could just always be yapping. I've had many, many times where I've tried to get answers and it didn't come through. It didn't really come through because I was trying to force it. I was trying to get answers from the universe. I was trying to bring in some light and some codes, and I wanted to get answers and tell me where I need to go. What do I need to do? And a lot of the time, we don't need this. Sometimes it's good to, do some tarot cards and to help you with, if you're not feeling right, you're a bit confused. It's okay to have these tools to help you along the way. But generally, just having trust and knowing that you are always on your path. You are always in alignment. You are always going in and out of bad emotions and good emotions. And you're always getting pushed off the rails so that you can learn new things, go through and experience new things. So that you can pick up new tools. So that you can help yourself or others along the way. A lot of the times, we have bad decisions and we make bad decisions and we go down the wrong path and we think that we're not in alignment or we think that we're not connected. Generally we are, because either way that's going to teach us a lesson and it's going to put us back to where we need to be. For me, for example, I spent many years smoking cigarettes. And when I got on this journey, in the spiritual path, cigarettes was one of the things I had to let go of. It wasn't serving me anymore. It was lowering my vibration. It's toxic. And I can get very attached to the cigarettes. And we can become, very complacent in wanting to smoke cigarettes. And I thought, maybe, I finally learned my lesson. Every time I'd have that cigarette, every time I'd have the smoke, I'd regret it. And for me, I had to maybe learn over thousands of times, thousands of different cigarettes that I had, to finally, where it hit me and said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I've had enough pain and I've had enough lessons telling me that every time I do this, it causes me pain, it causes me distress. So it took me many times, many thousands of times to finally say, I've had enough. Obviously, once I was aware of this and more in a conscious state, I was able to drop the habit. I was able to remove it easily. And it's okay occasionally, if I want a cigarette, that's fine. But I know that if I do have a cigarette, it's pointless and it's just putting poison in my body. Obviously, there is a chemical addiction to this too. But I'm trying to teach you here that long term, it's very hard to drop these things. And we can get lessons over and over and over again. So that's why all these bad decisions tried to teach me. So it's up to you if you want to learn the lesson quicker, if you want to be on your path quicker, you want to be able to get back on your track quicker. That's all up to you. Some people might take their whole life and they're learning certain lessons and they repeat the patterns over and over. And these patterns will continue and they'll stay in our life because we resonate with them. They become a part of our identity. They become a part of who we are, so we're scared of removing them. We're scared of removing habits. We're scared of removing certain beliefs about ourselves because we're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of stepping into our power. Because if we step into our power, our mind, our ego, doesn't know what's going to happen. It's unfamiliar. So it doesn't know how we're going to handle the situation. It thinks that it probably will be unsafe. If we do something new, if we become a new person, we will become unsafe. So when you're tapping into your intuition, when you're trying to go along the path, know that you're always on your path, no matter what. And the bad decisions will eventually lead to right decisions. The bad decisions are trying to teach you. They're trying to push you back. And sometimes we can have crazy thoughts and crazy, our minds can yap a lot, and it sometimes just wants us to surrender. Or not only does it want us to surrender to our intuition, to surrender to our spirit, sometimes the spirit's trying to get information across and we're not listening. Our higher self will try and teach us something, or it tries to push us in a certain direction. And because we're not in tune, because we're not listening, it'll bombard our mind and say, all right, you're not going to listen to here because you can't hear me. So I'm going to come through here. I'm going to come through here. And when you come through here, when the spirit speaks through the mind, whoa, it comes and erupts you and it causes you to make a change. So sometimes when we're going through major anxiety or we're going through something very difficult and we're like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? It's because maybe you're not listening. Maybe you're not listening to your spirit. You're not listening to your higher self. And because you're so disconnected, they can't get the information across. So they have to come through your head. They have to make you go crazy. They have to force you into anxiety, force you into a surrendered state, force you to do meditation so that finally you would give up and listen. And finally you listen to your intuition and you step forward into something that it wants you to do. It finally teaches you the lesson that you're finally learning, because sometimes we can become naughty children in the classroom. We don't listen to our teacher. We don't listen to our higher self. And yes, we have free will and we can do as we choose. But I feel like all of our paths are like a river. And our rivers are all each individual path which leads to enlightenment. Each river. No matter what the path, no matter what river it is, no matter the direction, no matter where it is, no matter how long the river takes, we are all leading towards the ocean. All rivers lead towards the ocean. All rivers lead towards enlightenment. So whether you're on a slow path or a quicker path, either way, it is inevitable for you to reach where you need to reach. It is up to you to allow yourself to let go and allow yourself to flow down this river. Allow yourself to end up where you're supposed to end up, where you're always meant to be. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and connect to your heart, connect to that intuition. It is silent, it is quiet, it is not noisy. And knowing that you're always on your path, you're always in alignment, no matter what.